Hello, good morning, and welcome to this precious week. It's been a very wonderful time with you all in the whole month of July. Thank God it's the last Monday in July. Wow, make some noise. It isn't easy to be alive from the first day of July till this day, the 27th day of July. Wow, you're highly welcome. This is the Life of Men program, Choices. We've been talking about trust. Today, we are still looking at the same thing we looked at on Friday. Friday, remember, I talked about how to reclaim lost trust from the betrayer side. Today, I want to look at it from the betrayed. Are you feeling betrayed? Are you the one that is feeling so hot that, oh, my spouse did this, my partner did this? Now, how do you reclaim that trust? Your partner came last Friday and told you, I'm so sorry, I cherish our relationship a lot of things has gone wrong, I am so sorry for what has happened, but now I really repent, I want to have a change. And what is your response? I also talked a little about how the person could react when I was advising the betrayer. I said, you that betrayed somebody, you must be calm. You must be the calming force. That was the language I used, the calming force, which means you need to be calm, quiet, and really hear everything that the person will be saying. I used the word rubbish, and I told you that it might sound like rubbish, but to him or her, it's not rubbish. Keep your heart calm and hear the person out, because it will help the person's healing process. Fine. Remember earlier in the month, I talked that make your relationship stable, the components of trust. And I told you that there are so many things that can make you really to be trustworthy, that can make your relationship stand firm. And one of those things I talked about is the act of communication. I also told you it's about your reliability. I also told you it's about you being really, really yourself. Not a lie, not living a lie, but living yourself, being truthful. You must be open in a relationship. If you must have a good, effective communication, then you are able to match your words with your actions. At the same time, you are able to be committed to the relationship, and you must have mutual respect for one another. It's very important. Then, finally, you have to be trustworthy. That is the act of being truthful. When all these things are in place, your relationship is intact. But when one out of them is tempered with, somebody will say, oh, she betrayed me, he betrayed my trust, either in an emotional relationship, intimate relationship, or in another relationship, a relationship that is just a mutual relationship or an official relationship. So one of the very difficult things in life to build is trust. When it is already broken, it's so difficult to rebuild or reclaim trust. Very, very difficult. You need to know that it is best not to allow it to break. But when it breaks, I tell you, it takes time. It takes really, really a long time. I know that there are so many people who will say, no, I can't. Somebody once told me, if it's a toxic relationship, how do you want me to handle it? Don't worry. Hold on, we're still going to come to that. So it is actually very possible to rebuild trust, but how possible is it going to be? It's going to be very possible if you can actually come out clean as the offender, and then the offended, you are able to quietly watch your partner, quietly see from his or her own opinion what actually was the motive behind what he or she did. That is when you begin to talk about reclaiming your relationship. So if in case you think, it's not possible, with God, all things are possible. If you can prayerfully ask God to help you, God, give me the heart to forgive. Because number one, you need to really, really see yourself saying, I will forgive. So that when your partner comes with the apology, remorse, telling you, really, I am sorry, and you are able to slow down and watch it, you will see that it is possible to rebuild trust. But when you feel so bad, I tell you, emotional pain, emotional trust can be very, very terrible. It can be deep. You know that trust is so fragile. It's so fragile that the pain from its loss, pain from the loss of trust, can lead to a serious psychological problem. It can give you deep psychological pains. It is so hard to forget, especially when it has to do with infidelity. If it has to do with infidelity, I tell you, it is so terrible. The person will continue to feel, how on earth did it happen? But really, if you can be open, you'll be able to forgive. And if the offender is ready to let go of what he or she did and say, I am sorry, and truly apologize, you will see that it is working out well for you. So as the betrayed, you need to come out fully and go back into your memory lanes. Think of your good times, the good old days, when the relationship was sweet, when there was every trust, both of you loved and trusted each other. You're supposed to actually think over it. When you think through it, you weigh it and weigh the offense and ask yourself, should I really do this or should I just ignore it? Do you know that so many people are waiting for you to escape that relationship and they will come in? Man or woman. A man will decide to just walk out on his wife, saying she's devil. You walk into a bigger devil, thinking she was demonic. You walk into a bigger demon. A woman could just say, I can't forgive him. I caught him red-handed in bed with my girl in the room. Why would you now send your husband packing, or you send yourself packing, then the girl will take over your house? No. If you're able to calm down and tell him, I am sorry. You that has been offended, you're telling him, I'm really sorry. I must have exposed you to this. You have put heap of coals on his head. Though I know some people don't have conscience. Yes. But if you have a partner that doesn't have conscience, then you need God to help you. But if you're somebody that has conscience and you just ignore him. I told us a story in one of my episodes of one of my classmates in the university. I schooled in Unijos. In the university, this lady was legally married, had legal 2 children for the husband. But the husband was dating another girl in our same department, in our cycle. And the wife didn't know. The girl kept on telling us about her boyfriend that wanted to marry her. It continued like that. Yes, I'm talking of a life story. Something that I witnessed, it happened. This lady didn't know. Her husband already had gone ahead. He was going to pay her dowry. He had even gone to pay dowry. They were planning traditional marriage. And she didn't see the card. Meanwhile, he has sent cards out. And this is a lady that has given birth to a boy and a girl for him. They were very comfortable. And he was building another house somewhere in town. I don't want to mention the street in Jos. And by the time he almost completed that house, he took the keys to that new house and gave to the girlfriend. But she was actually a wife-to-be. The poor girl didn't know him to be a married man. By the time they went to that house, there was a wedding picture that showed a real man there. And then our friend. And she was like, this face looks so familiar. Said, no, that's my twin brother and his wife when they wedded. My twin brother lives in Italy. He told her lies. That his twin brother, they're identical and that's the wife. In fact, that they live in Italy, they have children. And the poor girl relaxed for him without knowing that the man was lying. If you're in that lady's shoes, what will you do? I want to tell us this short story so you can understand what I'm saying. The proper wife, who happened to be the wife we know and our friend, one of the weekends, the man traveled and told her he will be coming back in about a week. And so the following weekend, when he was going to come back, she prepared everything, took her children, because he was actually coming back for them to move to the new house the upper week. So she moved there with her children to go and clear some things and decided to prepare lunch there. The man was rich. They had money because it wasn't the era of GSM. So he was using not 9 knots. She was using not 9 knots. If you were in Nigeria, early 90s, late 80s, you understand what I mean by not 9 knots. It's not 080, it's not 9 knots. And he called, and they had a phone in the house. He called her, she said, we're in the new house. He said, okay, he was on his way, he was coming in. That he was coming straight there to meet them. Meanwhile, he and his wife-to-be, and in quote again, the girlfriend, had an agreement that they were meeting. But the way God wants to catch him and want to expose him, he forgot his wife was also there. And he also agreed with the girlfriend that they were meeting there. So the poor girlfriend walked into the house with a key, opened the door and came in. Only to come in to notice this other lady and her children. And she was like, wow, I know you. How are you? We're in the same school, in the same class now, blah, 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 and all those things. And she was like, yes. She said, hey, yes, the young girl who was getting married was busy telling the story. This is actually the house of the man who is marrying me. I told you people about. Yes, yes, yes. You know, every day I kept on saying, I'll give you a card. I couldn't give you a card. Blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, the lady who is the real wife was calm and didn't show any sign of pain. Congratulated and everything. How about your children? I said, oh, my children, they're upstairs, they're sleeping in their rooms. Okay. Just tired. Oh, that one said, okay, you can go up and rest. Meanwhile, the real wife had done whatever she said, I didn't know you were marrying my brother. That's what she told the girl. So when this girlfriend was upstairs sleeping, the man arrived. By the time she opened the door for him, he was like, baby, baby. That time was mommy. Oh, now they're not calling mommy again. Then she was mommy, mommy, mommy to the man. And he was daddy, daddy, daddy to her. And when he was like, mommy, 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 she was like, daddy, 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 welcome. And then he was like, oh, I missed you the past 10 days, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, fine, go upstairs and freshen up now. He was like, no. Let's just eat. I know you have served dinner. You have served the lunch already. Let's eat. And she was insisting he should go upstairs. The guy quietly went upstairs, only to meet his girlfriend on their matrimonial bed in the room. And he started screaming at this poor girl. What are you doing here? Blah, 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 blah. Who told you this and that? Didn't you see my wife and my children? Can you imagine that? Only for him to tell that lady off. And the lady was like, what are you talking about? Are you not the one that gave me the keys to this house? I asked you to come and wait for you here. So she's your wife. I asked you, you told me this, that. The wife now intervened and was like, don't shout at her, don't do that to her. She didn't come here as your girlfriend. She came here as your wife-to-be. And I am told by her and from all indications that you were getting married to her in the next 2 weeks. So what are we talking about? So, long story made short, the girl tearfully dropped the key and walked away and apologized to the wife, who she knew in the school too. And then she left. The man expected his wife to now continue with the episode. My dear friend closed the chapter. She didn't talk about it. But I tell you the reward of what she did. She was hurt in her heart. Everything about it was too deep. But she was able to forgive him. And the best way to deal with such a situation was quietness. I dub my cap for that lady. It's not easy. I'm not telling you it's very sweet, but it's not easy. She was able to say to herself, I cannot fight him. And she was quiet. A week after, the man invited the whole of their family, both her parents and his parents, that he was not marrying her again, or this, that. Why was he saying that? All he needed to do was just to apologize to his wife, but he felt she wouldn't understand anymore. He had to bring in their parents. Finally, and long story made short, the woman won the case. When the parents came and they realized what happened, his parents were mad with him. His parents were like, we've never seen this before. And then her own parents were calm and were like, well, thank God that it's not our daughter that committed an offense. And the man eventually gave her that house as her house, gave her a brand new Mercedes-Benz that time. Mercedes-Benz 230 was what he bought for her that time. And then different gifts. Of course, the children are all grown up now. She eventually had 5 children at last. But I want to tell you that that is a strong betrayal of trust. And then the other girl, we all rallied around her and helped her heal. She would have gone insane. She didn't know that he was doing all those things with his friends and no family member was aware. So you young lady who thinks that, oh, I have been offended, maybe you are not aware that the man who has come to tell you I want to marry you is not even coming with his family. Like the one I told you last week about a man who married a girl in Surulere registry. Meanwhile, he has a wife, he already wedded in Ikoyi registry and had 6 children with the woman. It's just such similar cases. But in this case, this woman did not react. That one too did not react, but marriage was dissolved quietly because he almost went ahead to kill that one, the last week's story. So I want you to know that there is no amount of betrayal that should make you not to decide to forgive. Remember, forgiveness is divine.